Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. I'm the founder and top researcher of Blevins Biblical Investigations. I have over 26 years experience of film and photo analyst. Okay, in this segment here, what I like to do is talk a little bit about Bob Gimlin behind the brush. Let me open up this picture here. As we see here, let me get all of it in there. We have two frames from the PG film. We have the one frame where it has the right foot up, and we have the next frame which has got the left foot up. When I found Bob Gimlin behind the brush, I looked over this frame first. Didn't see nothing there. As we see up in here, let me pull up to a bigger version of it. Here we go. As we see in this location here, there's no leaves, no limbs, nothing there to form any kind of face structure of any kind. All we see is a tree in the background. That's it. However, over here, in this frame here, we see the tree still there. However, now we see a face in this location right here where there's no face at before. We see the shoulder right here. We see the eyes, the brow, the nose, and the cheek, and the jawbone right here, which is not seen over here in this frame here. After I found this out, I asked around and I made some contacts, as someone claimed that they worked on the film and stuff, and this was one of the frames that he sent me. I blowed it up, got this section right here. And as we see here, when he was doing color changes to the film, we actually see the man completely a lot better in this frame here. Let me zoom in on him. As we see here, we see a gentleman behind the brush. We see his face, we see his hairline, we see his eyes, his brows, his nose, his cheeks, and we also see he has a blue shirt on. Shoulders right here. Here's where the arm comes down, and the arm comes here. Now, after I found Bob Gimlin behind a brush, at first, let me point this one up first, excuse me, I zoomed in on the face to identify who this person was. I used Roger Patterson's pictures trying to line them up, John Green's picture trying to line it up, Renee DeHenden's picture and trying to line them up. There was no match. Only one matched this face behind the brush was Bob Gimlin. Now, after I found this, I had a friend that does identification at the police department. On his off time, I gave him the frame. He found the face as well, and I gave him photos, and he too said the only face that matches the face behind the brush. He also pointed out Bob Gimlin's picture. Now, after I found Bob Gimlin behind the brush and identified him as Bob Gimlin, and I started talking about this, people claim, oh no, it's not Bob Gimlin, because it was Bob Gimlin. That was Bob Gimlin. The Bigfoot's like 30 to 40 feet away from this tree. This is not true. After they told me this, I went ahead and did my own test to measure out exactly how far this Bigfoot was away from this tree. Here's me standing 5 feet away from the tree. Here's me standing 30 feet away from the tree. As you can see, the tree's a lot smaller when you stand far distance back. But as you see here, the Bigfoot in the film is exactly anywhere from 3 to 4 feet away from the tree, even 6 feet. However, the man would not be no 20 feet as they claimed. This is a man behind the brush as the Bigfoot walked. Now, after I found this, excuse me, I went ahead and did tests on this to find out why was there a man behind the brush. At the time, I did not have the suit or the headpiece or anything else made, so what I did was I put earplugs in. We had the cameraman stand back at least 40 to 60 feet in between there. And when he told me to walk, I could not hear him. I had to have somebody close to me to let me know when to walk and when to stop. Here's more test photos from the test we did. The reason why Bob Gimlin was behind the brush was to let the man in the suit know when to walk and when to stop. That's why Bob Gimlin was so close to the Bigfoot. And to be out of frame, he was hiding behind the brushes right here. Now let's go back to this image here. We're going to zoom in. As you see in this frame here, there is a person there. We see the tree line right here. We see the trees and the leaves here, here, and here. But now we see the face right here. We see the shoulder line right here. We see the arm coming down, and we see this man has a blue shirt on, and even the true color of his face is right there. Again, we're going to zoom in. As we see, right here, we see the tree line, here and here. There is no face structure there. There ain't nothing in this location right here can make any kind of image of a face. There is no leaves or tree branches sticking out or anything that can form any kind of face. Now we're going to move over here. Now as we see here, there's the face. Here's the shoulder. Here's the arm coming down. See if we can get both of them in frame. As we see, there's nothing here that can form of any kind of face. There is no leaves, no branches, no tree limbs sticking out. There's nothing there that can form a face. Same as here. Here's the face. And like I said, here's the shoulder. Basically, Bob Gimlin was sitting down, and he stood up as the Bigfoot was walking by. That's how he got into frame. Again, we'll zoom in. We can clearly see the nose, the brow, the eye, cheekbone, cheek, forehead. Same as here. The eyes, the brow, the nose, the cheek, forehead. This is Bob Gimlin behind a brush. Now, as we're told, Bob Gimlin claimed that he was on his horse the whole time when all this was being filmed. However, by this image here, shows Bob Gimlin behind a brush. Not on his horse. He's right by the Bigfoot, very close to the Bigfoot. We see here, he's not here. We cannot see nobody here. There's nothing here can form of any kind of face or images. However, he sits up, he stands up, and comes into frame. Bob Gimlin is seen right here to let them know the Bigfoot or the man in a suit when he's going about to stop. Closer image. We have the nose, the brow, the hairline, shoulder, Bob Gimlin was not on his horse as he claimed. Bob Gimlin was behind the brush as the Bigfoot walked past him.